It's Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come
What is up? Swing for the fences. Holden, DC, Mangone with us on this beautiful Wednesday in the Denver area. You got the Denver crew here. Wonderful to see you. I don't know, DC, if you watched the A's game last night, but they did get 27,759 fans. The atmosphere was absolutely electric. I legitimately wish I was at that cesspool stadium that they had out there, but that was a lot of cool. Good to see both of you gentlemen. DC, what's happening in the world? I've got a lot of things to get to before we get into the slate, but let's talk to you first. What's happening, dude?
Yeah, 27,000 fans. How many dog shits on the ground, though? That's a real question for the
18.
18 of them total. Okay, I'll take the over on that. But hey, you're the expert on this. You beat me on the over-under on the Oakland attendance and maybe on the dogs too. I was watching the Phillies game, trying to chase down some GPPs. Didn't quite get there in the end. One of those games, man, going nothing worse than trying to chase down a GPP. Your team's up, it was like 13-3, whatever the score was. The other team brings in the position player to pitch, and they pinch hit for Schwarber and Castellanos. Don't even get a chance to deliver the goods to take it home. So that was a little annoying. Still was a really strong night, even with the pitching, especially Max Scherzer not coming through, which did hurt my teams. For sure, but yeah, fun night last night. Gunnar Henderson with the grand slam. He stays red hot. That's been fun to see, and we'll hope to keep it going tonight.
It was a good day slate too for me. It was kind of nice. Spencer Strider, he came back. He got you enough points. Hopefully, he did all right there. The Braves. Michael Harris continues to roll. But Mangone, what's going on? Did you play a little day baseball or not? What's happening in Mangone's life these days?
No, I did not play day baseball. And I actually I played a little hockey last night. I watched the hockey game. So I went off the board. It wasn't a great game, but hey, I watched the game. But hey, it's officially baseball season, right? Like the people like Steve Boynton in DC, it's been baseball season since April, but like this is officially it. NBA's done, NHL, it's out the window. It's basically baseball and golf season right now. So if you haven't signed up, use that code SUMMER33. Get you 33% off. You can check out all the great content that we're going to have for you guys. Watch the hockey game last night. And I'm excited for this baseball slate. I think there's a lot of good ways to go about it. And I do feel bad for DC. There's one thing that sucks in DFS when you're in position to really gain on the leaderboard. And you're like, just give me a damn chance, right? Like you just want the opportunity. And then when your guy gets pulled, it's the worst feeling ever. Because listen, if Schwarber goes up there and 3 strikes in a row, nothing you can do about it, at least your guy had a battling chance, not having that chance.
And Schwarber, if there was one person in the whole league I could take against a position player lobbing 50-mile-per-hour meatballs up there, it would probably, frankly, be Kyle Schwarber, right, with all the power that he has. And, the strikeouts, obviously not an issue. So that was annoying, but it happens. It's DFS. Obviously, they did come through. And, frankly, a lot of the leaderboard had the Phillies anyway, since they were, had 13 runs at that point. So this is what it is. Yeah, we're on to today.
Big news here. Big news. K. Fallick is back after yesterday's complete debacle. Mangone, I don't even know if you knew what happened yesterday. Did you watch the show or no?
I was not able to watch the show yesterday. That's why I did not play baseball. But I heard about the Fallick debacle, and glad to see that he's finally back. And I'm not shocked that you were involved with this debacle.
Now, hold on a second. You quote unquote heard about the Fallick debacle. Was this somebody complaining to you, or was it a joke? What was going on with the Fallick debacle?
I just happened to open up my chats, and in the social media chat, questions were going back and forth and conversations. And I saw, can someone figure out how to get Fallick unbanned? Because Holden banned him by accident, by no one's surprise.
Tell the truth, Mangone. In my now 3-year quest to get Holden fired from this company, I did message every shareholder in RPS to try to nudge and move the needle a little bit in that direction.
Yeah, it was.
I shouldn't laugh. He's serious.
Holden, you gave me a good laugh because I haven't pulled out my phone in a while. I pull the phone out and I see a bunch of Discord messages, and the first damn one I see is, how do we get K. Fallick back in the YouTube chat? I was like, oh, classic Holden.
Yeah. Well, he was barking a lot yesterday, and I joked, I'm like, I'm going to put you in a 5-minute timeout. Unfortunately, it banned him. So, I mean, I felt horrible last night, and we got with AP, and then Fallick busted my balls today, and everything's better. So, Fallick, wonderful to see you. He's probably not going to be in the chat too much today. He doesn't want to have back-to-back. What did he call it? What did Tony call it? Debacle? Debacle. Very good, Tony Snow. I like that one. But, Fallick's in the house here. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the slate, any weather issues, DC, anything you're seeing, maybe this Colorado-Boston game? They did play the Cubs-Pirates game last night. I didn't really miss out on anything, I don't think. But anything that you might be a little bit wary of weather-wise?
Boston looks like the biggest concern, slight concern in New York for the Mets-Yankees games as well. I do think both these games, though, are going to play. It looks to me like pretty light rain, at least kind of, during the hours that these games are scheduled to go. But we're going to have to keep an eye on it. And I will say, it looks like a scenario to me where I think as long as they start the games on time, I think they can just kind of play through the rain. But sometimes, if you start it in delay, they almost never start a game while it's still raining, even if the rain is pretty light. So that's going to be, I think, the kind of the key indicator on those two games, which is important because the Red Sox do have the highest team total on this slate, and you got Garrett Cole and Verlander in New York. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that weather for sure.
I don't know if you guys saw the page of the show. Verlander was on it. He just looks old and angry. So maybe he'll take all his aged angerness out. Kind of like me, just old and angry. And maybe he could turn it around tonight. Maybe he's been taking it out on Kate Upton in the sack. Maybe tonight he takes it out on the Yankees. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. And I love it when our people that live in the towns where the weather might be, I love it when they check in. So, Sarconi, New York's fine here. Late start in Boston. Love it. We now know Pogen de Stoner, whatever the hell it is, wake and bake, baseball bitches. We know that this guy actually wakes up early in the morning. And I know you've been up, PGen Stoner, because there was a morning slate today, and I know you played it. So wake and bake does not happen. Like button would be amazing. Before we get into the spiel, or actually, let me give you the spiel before we get into the slate. Summer 33, 33% off, first payment weekly or a monthly plan. I tell you right now, please, if you haven't already and you're it's too expensive, check it out for a week. Dip your toes in the water, 33% off. You get all the guys' cores, the playbook breaking down all the pitchers we're playing tonight, all the offensive players we're playing tonight, the cores. You get the 5 or 6 best players, plus a pair of pitchers from every single one of our coordinators that are participating there. And then Kay Fallick is still here. Fallick, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I stole your name. I wasn't sure you were going to be a part of get in the Discord today or in the comments. So this show is in honor of you, Kay Fallick. This show is in honor of Kay Fallick. Tonight, Kay Fallick, all the good mojo to you. And I truly hope that none of you, the ones of you that did not hit the like button, did have a horrible night last night. And if you did have a horrible night, hit it today because you'll have a bad night again tonight if you don't hit the like button. So without further ado, broad slate thoughts, DC. Before you get into the nitty gritty here, what are you thinking about this slate tonight? Couple places we can focus on.
Yeah, a lot of good pitching up top. I'm not a huge fan of Garrett Cole, but I'm sure some people will be. But yeah, Kershaw, Valdez, Castillo, Glasnow. If you want to include Cole, Verlander, and those guys as aces, could go there. So a lot of pitching to choose from up top. To me, the mid-range of pitching looks pretty rough, and then there are a couple cheap guys that will get to some bargain guys that I think you can play tonight. But as always on a 12-game slate, ownership is going to be spread out. I do think that will be true tonight for sure. I think the Red Sox will be the most popular team, but even that could change if we have weather questions, right, in Boston, where people kind of maybe might get too scared to go to that game. So I do think we'll see spread out ownership both with pitching and with stacks with hitting, which I think makes for a fun slate. So looking forward to it all.
Kay Fallick is in the chat, just chatting it up. Kay Fallick, I told you, you're more than welcome to come on the show today. Come on the show, buddy. You said you don't have time. All you're doing is getting into it with the other people. Just come on the show, dude. We'll bring you in. Mangone, broad thoughts on the slate. I should never say that again.
Yeah, so there's really, really good pitching options on this slate, and it definitely drops off pretty quick. That's definitely something that I noticed as I built my pool out. I was like, man, I'm kind of excited to be on the show with DC to kind of get some takes and see if he has anything that could be intriguing or contrarian to get to, because it does get a little tough for sure at the pitching position. And old Justin Verlander's like kind of chalky. I'm not saying he's the chalk, but he's going to have ownership, and I understand that he could kind of blow up in this spot. So definitely going to be an interesting talking point when we get to pitching to discuss. And then it kind of feels like a core slate. Now, it's not a core slate, but we have the Austin Gomber on the mound, and there's a 16 total for the Boston Red Sox. And then, like, the next closest total is probably, like, around, like, 5-4 or 5-3. Like, it's a clear gap that Boston is the clear spot to go to. So, it's going to be interesting to break it down. I think it definitely feels like a core slate. And there's a lot of different angles that you can take, I think, when it comes to the bats. Like the team totals, like they're all tight right around there, right? There are a bunch of teams that are like in that 4-5 to like 5-2 range. And ownership's going to be down on some of them. And I think trying to get some lower owned bats seems like a pretty good idea today.
Are you feeling okay, Mangone? P. Lally is worried about you.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm sick or I'm losing my voice. So,
okay.
But who knows? We'll have to see. Today is the first day. I noticed when I was at the gym, I had some phlegm in here. So, but we'll battle through. It'll be perfectly fine.
Were you lifting dumbbells today?
Today was shoulders and back. So we did shoulders and back, little traps too. So it was a good day. All
right, good to hear. Couple of big names that are out tonight. Corbin Carroll out. Devers is out. Her name is Yoshida. Yoshida's out too. So those are the three big ones. And I just want to go back to something we were talking about yesterday with Scherzer and the sticky stuff. I don't know if you caught it. Drew Smith got ejected too. What is it with the umpires or the Mets and these dudes getting ejected for sticky stuff, DC? I mean, is this a thing now? Are we going to keep seeing this happening? Same team.
The whole like enforcement of it is just ridiculous. It's just like a completely subjective decision from the umpires where they like feel your hands, and listen, all the hands are sticky, right? Because the pitchers are allowed to use the rosin bag with sweat, right? And they do that to make their hands sticky. But apparently the umps can just decide, oh, it's too sticky this time. Like there's no test for the actual substance, which it just is silly. I think it could happen really to any pitcher kind of at any time. So I don't really think it's something to, I don't really see much actionable to try to predict a ejection or anything like that.
All right, very good. Let's get into this thing here. We'll start at pitching, and Garrett Cole's up top. Garrett Cole's been getting through the lineup a couple times. Third time around, I'm starting to see a little bit of a decline there. We got the White Sox at the Dodgers. So let's go 9K and above. Perez, Kelly, Castillo, Valdez, Kershaw, and Garrett Cole. And I bring this up again. Clayton Kershaw here, he's got a 4.05 ERA since Mother's Day. That's 26 2/3 innings. Hard hit rate, 53%. What's going on with Kershaw? Can you start there, DC? Break it down with Clayton Kershaw. And who do you like up here up top?
Yeah, Kershaw had that run of 3 rough starts around the time his mother passed away. I've talked about this the last couple times on this show. I don't know if that affected him or not. Obviously impossible to say. But he has bounced back really nicely. 2 consecutive outings of 7 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts in each of those games, right up around 100 pitches, 30-plus DraftKings points in both. And, the start before that, 3-start kind of rough run stretch he had a 30-point game before that. So 3 of the last 6 have been above 30 for Clayton Kershaw. I mean, Garrett Cole hasn't been above 30 fantasy points since April 16th. So it's been a rough ride for Cole. He hasn't been terrible, but I've been kind of off the Cole train. I think right now Kershaw's a better pitcher between the two, which is kind of crazy, right? It kind of seemed like Kershaw, the injuries were creeping up. He's obviously getting up there a little bit in age, but he's pitching awesome right now. So he is my number 1 tonight. Kershaw is big favorites at home against the White Sox. You like both those things as well. I've got Glasnow actually second, which is a little – this is weird to say – a little scary going up against the A's right now. Have won, I think, 6 or 7 in a row. I'm still not buying it with them, but I do believe kind of in hot streaks in general. So I don't love picking on a team that's, hitting the ball pretty well. But I've liked what I've seen from Glasnow. He's only made 3 starts on the year. He's been better in each one. And look at who he's faced. The Dodgers, the Rangers, and in Fenway. Really doesn't get much tougher of a 3-start stretch than that. And he's been good despite of it. Glasnow has. Now he gets the A's in one of the best places to pitch. So, yeah, Kershaw, Glasnow, I think if you're spending, that's my preferred pairing. Right behind them, though, I've got kind of a top 4. Luis Castillo at home against Miami. George Kirby absolutely ran through this team last night. Castillo, the better pitcher between the two. I could see him doing something similar. And Castillo has some crazy, crazy home road splits this year. 25 fantasy points per game at home, 15 on the road. WHIP, ERA, strikeouts, all that stuff kind of in line with the performance. And it's Castillo's first year in Seattle, right? So maybe there's something to this. Seattle, a really good place to pitch in general. He was coming over from one of the worst places to pitch in Cincinnati for most of his career. So I don't know if those splits will hold, but it is something in his favor. I like the matchup against Miami. And then Framber Valdez, I think, is a super safe option at home here against a pretty light-hitting Nationals team. But they do hit lefties better, and they do put the ball in play. So on a night where I do think we're going to see some big scores at pitcher, I think Framber's going to put up a bunch of zeros in this game. I just don't know if he's going to get the strikeouts to be the SP1 or the SP2. But I do still have him above Cole and definitely above Verlander, who I'm just off the Verlander train. I was on Scherzer last night. I still think Scherzer will bounce back from that. But Verlander, I don't know. I kind of think he might be on his way out a little bit. So I'm off that train. So, yeah, up top, I rank it Kershaw 1, Glasnow 2, Castillo 3, and Valdez 4.
Okay, we have Holden's joining us right now. Wonderful to see K. Fallick in the house. Welcome back, K. Fallick. If you're just joining us, I accidentally blocked K. Fallick from Rumpier Sports.
You're on mute, Fallick. We haven't heard you yet.
Yeah, we haven't heard him yet.
It's fine. I'm just listening to the phlegm conversation and thought I'd jump in at this point.
Was that better or worse than yesterday, Fallick?
I don't know. It's pretty even. I don't know if I want human phlegm or dog shit everywhere. That's the
I don't know if I'm sick, Fallick. I just noticed it in the morning. I said I need to monitor, so I'm going to monitor it.
All right, monitor it. Doctors are available. I do know that there are doctors in Colorado.
No one needs to go to a doctor. And I found out before the show, Holden's doctor is like a mile from my house.
It is
Holden. I don't need to do that.
Well, I have a lot of doctors, though. You don't know which one it is. And then Fallick, talk to me here. Be bluntly honest. I accidentally blocked you from the YouTube. Were you able to even watch the show yesterday after I went down that road? No? How'd you do?
How'd I do on the slate?
Yeah.
Crushed it.
See, you don't need to watch this show. So what do you... You're fine. Everybody else needs to watch the show. Fallick does not need to watch the show, though. But thank you for showing up, Fallick. Do you want to stay on the show and hang out today, or do you want to just wanted to come in and bust some balls?
I'm here for a little bit.
All right, beautiful. Well, it's Mangone's turn to go, though. But I'm glad you're here because he can rest his phlegmy voice as the show goes on. So
that's why I came on.
Yes, indeed. Hey, by the way, 27,000 plus at dog days, only 18 dog shits, Fallick. Pretty good ratio.
Not so bad.
Not so bad. Mangone, top shelf here, 9K plus. What do you got?
Yeah, so 9K and above. I think Glasnow is clearly the best option. Like, I think it's just like he's the guy. Typically on like shorter slates, Glasnow, just like Strider today, would come in at like an absurd percentage because it's a big enough slate. Maybe we get a discount on Glasnow's ownership. That's one thing I'll at least think about here. But there are some other good options up top that you definitely have to be considering. It sounded like DC, I think he had Kershaw at number 2. I have Castillo at number 2. And I like Castillo and Kershaw, but I just think the matchup against Miami is absolutely phenomenal. The strikeout upside that he has is great. He's got a 7.5K prop along with Kershaw. He's got the same one, 7.5. I always do think the White Sox can get a hold of lefties at times, but this is Kershaw. He's built a little bit different, and I just think Castillo is the better option. So I'm going to buy in on Castillo as my number 2 pitching option. Clayton Kershaw, he'll be number 3 for me. I think he's a solid option that we can go to today. 10.8K. I definitely want to spend up at pitcher today. Not as much down. There's not a ton of options that I like below. After we talk about the 9K and above, I'll definitely talk about Verlander and how I'm handling him. Yuri Perez is someone to mention because he is playing Seattle. And we know the ceiling for Yuri Perez is really high because if the strikeouts are going, it's going to work out well. The problem I have is I feel like the leash is just a little too short on him. I think there's a lot of ways it can go wrong for him, right? There's just Seattle could obviously hit him up pretty well. And I think there's so many other options that I don't need to play him. Merrill Kelly, feel kind of similar. I don't need to play him. I know there's strikeouts within that Phillies lineup, but there's just better options that I prefer. I'm likely fading Garrett Cole against the Mets, and I go to Framber Valdez if I had to pick. Framber Valdez, he kind of feels like an option that, like DC said, maybe the strikeouts aren't going to be as high as you think, but I do feel like he won't help me lose at the pitcher position today, right? That I do feel very confident about that. Maybe he doesn't have the ceiling, but that floor is there where I could win it with bats. And based on ownership, I do think he's going to be slightly lower owned than some of these other options. So I think Framber Valdez is number 4 for me. So I have a similar order as DC. I would say it's at the top. Number 1, Tyler Glasnow. Number 2, Castillo. Number 3, Kershaw. And then number 4, Framber Valdez.
Hey, Fallick, is it a double spend up? No, it's not a double spend up tonight. I know you're not doing a double spend up. I think I'm going the same direction you are. But if you had to pick somebody 9K and above that you're going to roster a whole bunch tonight, who's it going to be? Who's the best top tier pitcher?
Yeah. First of all, if you have not watched the Ronald Acuna Jr. home run that he just hit, just pause this show, watch it at 1.5x, go watch Ronald Acuna Jr. hit like a 500-foot bomb against Detroit. It's impressive. That swing was amazing. Anyways, I like Kershaw in this spot. I have no interest in Tyler Glasnow personally, both at being probably over-owned, plus the pitch count issue against an Oakland team that has been much better at being waiting, I guess would be the word. Large foul grounds, like everything going against him, in my opinion, on the Glasnow spot.
Let me ask you this on Glasnow. What would his percentage have to be for you to play him?
I wouldn't play him anyways. I mean,
even if he was 1%, you wouldn't play Tyler Glasnow against Oakland. Seriously,
no, not at 85 pitches going against this offense right now. I'll wait for other people to. I'll wait for this offense to calm down a little bit first.
Sometimes Fallick is my favorite.
461 feet, by the way. Fallick was embellishing.
I watched it. It definitely looked further than that. I'm with Fallick.
Yeah, it's for sure farther than. 30.
I will say this: Statcast messes up all the time.
Yeah, it was it's like 412. It went over the 412 sign into like the third
ivy
push way up though. You couldn't even see it land. Yeah, it's definitely farther than that.
Yeah. So if of course he's not going Glasnow. So is that your breakdown? Any other top tier pitchers? No.
I have interest in Luis Castillo. I have some interest as well as in Framber. I think Framber has K upside against this team, and it's a home park. Only thing I'm worried about is that they have a lot of righties, but I think he should be fine mowing these guys down. But yeah, I do like the lower price guys. I'm not going to lie. I think that they're being overlooked, and I'm not sure why overall when you look at this slate.
All right, we'll get into the Ranger Suarez in just a little bit. Like button would be wonderful. Fallick's here. Come on, people. Give us a like just for Fallick alone. Summer 33 is the promo code. I'll get back into the spiel in a few minutes, but let's go sub 9K here. DC. Barrios is in the 8K range. Verlander's in the mid in the 8K range. He's 8K. What about this range here, 8K and below? I mean, you can go all the way down if you want to. Talk about guys like Josiah Gray and Lively and Detmers, but what are you thinking right now with this range of 8 in the 8K? So 8.6 and below, starting with Barrios.
Yeah, like I said, I don't love this 8K range. I'm not messing with Barrios in Baltimore, the red hot team, bunch of lefties at the top of the lineup, good place to hit. Pretty easy no thanks for me there. Same thing with Andrew Heaney, just not consistent enough. Michael Wacha, I think you could make a case for pitching out in San Diego. I've certainly missed out on this run that Wacha has been on. I still don't really believe it that he can keep it up. So I guess Wacha can keep stealing my money if he continues to pitch as well as he can. Same thing with Verlander, man. I'm just not on the Verlander train. He's had negative DraftKings points in 3 of his last 5 games. We saw what New York did to Scherzer yesterday. I can't really personally get to Verlander. Savali's a no thanks. Same with Smiley. Detmer's no. So, yeah, anyway, 2 guys that I like down here. There's just 2. One is Kyle Bradish against Toronto. I don't like the matchup for him, but he's definitely way more talented and I think better pitcher than the $6,200 price tag. So the matchup kind of sucks, but I still think he's underrated as a pitcher, and I definitely think he's underpriced for DFS purposes. I think he can still get strikeouts against the Blue Jays, so I don't mind him. Matchup, Parker, tough, I get it, but 6,200 obviously does help mitigate that to some degree. And the other guy, scary matchup for him as well, but Daniel Lynch has some stuff under the hood that looks very interesting to me. Missing a ton of bats he just made 3 starts this year, but yeah, getting a ton of whiffs. The results have been, just kind of average-ish. They've been okay, but yeah, like I said, the swinging strike rate is the thing that's really kind of tipping me off to Daniel Lynch. Too early to say whether he has really figured something out because he really hasn't been that good in the past in his short career. But there is a lot of strikeouts still in this Reds lineup, despite how scary they are. I mean, even Elly De La Cruz, as exciting as he is, he's got a 40% strikeout rate to start the year. He's going to swing and miss a ton. So I do think Lynch has a chance to rack up strikeouts. Obviously, a pretty good place to pitch in Kansas City. I don't really think people are on him. Cincinnati's got a pretty high team total. He's 6,500 on DraftKings. So he's an interesting contrarian play if you do want to go down there. So those are really the 2 guys I'm looking at that are cheap: Daniel Lynch and Kyle Bradish.
All right, not buying into Wacha. 1.05 ERA, 3.02 FIP, last 7 starts.
Yeah.
All right, it's not buy. Hey, Mangone, you want to buy some Wacha here? You want a little Wacha?
I don't hate Michael Wacha. I was hoping DC liked him a little bit because I'll say when I was watching him pitch against the Cubs, he was walking guys, but the strikeout stuff was incredible, at least in that start. So that's.
This is just one where I don't know. Like if you like Michael Wacha, I've been wrong on him all year, so I wouldn't. Like if you've been riding the Wacha train, I would stay aboard here if you are a believer in him.
I'll just say DC. Again, you've watched way more baseball than me. But when I watched Wacha, I was very impressed. So and his projection is lower than I expected, and I think there are some interesting pivots off of Verlander. I pretty much decided I'm just going to fade Verlander. If he beats me, he beats me. He's going to have pretty high ownership today. And listen, he's had his struggles. So, and Fallon, what's that face for? You don't think people are playing Verlander?
15%.
He's going to probably be 20 to 25, I'd say. That'd be my guess.
Okay.
Really?
That's still enough. He is probably the guy of the cheap options, right? If you go below 9K, who has the highest ownership of pitcher? It's him. It just is. Unless you have someone else that I'm not seeing. Maybe you could make the case for maybe people could say Whitlock against Colorado, but Whitlock's not going to.
What if I told you that the collective ownership of the guys below 9K is going to be 65%?
It's going to be low for sure.
If that, I think it'll be even lower. I think it may be 45 or 50% collectively from these 12 pitchers.
Verlander's probably going to be half of the Bills probably then. That's what I
don't agree, but that's okay. We can talk about it later. But
DC, do you agree?
I don't think it's worth guessing personally, but I don't think
I would guess Verlander at 15 to 20%, which I don't know. What are we arguing here?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
25,
yeah. But I just don't need to. There's other options I can take chances on. I'd rather go to Wacha, who's going to be less. I think Drew Smiley's not the craziest idea against the Pirates, right? And again, there's not a lot of good options. Maybe Fallick can talk me into something. I don't like a lot of options down here. It's tough. When I kind of went through everything, I was like, man, I want to talk myself into something down here. What can I talk myself into? Because it's not great, sure, Reed Detmers has a name, but do you want to target Texas? No, not really. Daniel Lynch doesn't seem like someone I want to go to. I don't know. Just go to Fallick because Fallick seems like he has all the answers for below 9K.
Fallick's on the Lynch trade with me. I saw him nodding over there.
That was very condescending and facetious, Mango, and that's what I felt out of that.
So let me start off. Verlander 8K going against New York Yankees, who we were happy to attack. He has Bill Miller behind the plate, gets his outside corners. Like all those things are going to work for him going against six righties for the Yankees. I'm not very scared of this lineup personally for the Yankees. So I'm definitely interested in Verlander at 8K. Waka, I'm interested at 8.2K. I probably don't end up on him because I don't want to mess with Cleveland. Just the fact that they don't strike out a ton, that they have some pieces that can get some hits and they can really work you, doesn't interest me. Love Daniel Lynch. I think Cincinnati is just being overblown on what they can do. And there are tons of strikeouts in this lineup. Tons and tons of strikeouts. Let's see. Who else do I have? I don't agree with the Kyle Bradish. I know he's talented. So let me say that, DC. He's very talented. But the problem is I don't see the K upside against Toronto. Toronto does not strike out enough for me to have interest in him personally. If you tell me the weather's okay in Boston, Garrett Whitlock is definitely in play for me at 6.7K. I'm not scared of this Colorado lineup at all. Garrett Whitlock has looked good the last few starts. Hopefully he gets the leash that allows him to go deep. I think he's getting there though on those pitches. I had no issue playing Patrick Corbin last night. He did okay for me. He could have done better if it weren't for a couple pitches here and there. This lineup is still weak for the Astros. No Pena, Jordan's out. So Josiah Gray, if you get the talented side of Josiah Gray, you have to have interest in him in a bigger stadium in Houston. Should help him with some of these outfield shots. So hopefully the fly ball pitcher and Josiah Gray can keep the ball in the field. And there are definitely strikeouts to be had. Like Altuve's striking out a ton right now. Bregman's striking out a ton right now. One lefty in the lineup. The whole lineup has one lefty. You can avoid that one lefty pretty easily, hopefully, and play pretty well. And let's see. The last one I want to throw out, and let me first say that the problem with dumpster, I don't want to call them dumpster diving, but going 8K and below on pitcher is like, what bats do you really want to play tonight? And that's the challenge that I'm facing is like, I'm going to be forcing myself to play Tampa, Dodgers, and Rangers if I go this way. And I don't hate them, but like, is it really a necessary play tonight? I'm not sure. So I'm not convinced that I'm going this way. But the last pitcher is I know we're joking about it, but Rangers, it was been joked about in the chat.
Not a joke.
Ranger Suarez has been a very impressive pitcher the last since he's figured it out. He doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, but this Arizona lineup is also watered down, large park, and Ranger Suarez is we liked him last year, and he's 5.6K. I don't understand. Like we were playing him when he was like 8K last year, if I remember correctly, and he's 5.6K going against the Diamondbacks. I'm interested in Ranger Suarez if I need to get to him. I think he can get there. I think he has the win potential as well. So I have interest in Ranger Suarez personally.
Way worse play than Kyle Bradish. Way worse.
Okay.
See, as far as
disagree with me, Fallick. Come on, you gotta.
He doesn't want it. That's how Fallick disagrees. By the way, Fallick, I'm with you because he made my dummy lineup. I'm talking about Suarez. Arizona doesn't strike out much, but then again, they don't have Corbin Carroll and they don't have Ketel Marte again. My issue with Suarez is he's given up a ton of hard contact. Last 3 starts, 45%. So talk me off. You're still going Suarez. Is he your favorite pitcher down there?
No, Daniel Lynch is my favorite pitcher down there. Like,
okay.
No question about Daniel Lynch is my favorite. I like Whitlock as well if the game is clean and plays. those are my two. And I really think that this could be a Justin Verlander 20-point game, 25-point game going against the Yankees. Like he wants to also show up Garrett Cole. Like this is not only like wanting to pitch well, but like he's also going against a former teammate. He is also been playing poorly. He gets to go against the Yankees, who are a bad team, and he gets Big Bill behind the plate. Like all those things point to this could be a good Verlander game for me.
All right, gentleman.
If you think Verlander still has it, then I think Verlander is a strong play. I just personally think he is really in decline is my issue with Verlander. But if you think he's the same guy, I mean, you won the Cy Young last year, right? And you're getting him at a discount, great umpire, good place to pitch, and a good matchup. So I get it from that perspective, Falcon.
Mangone, any other pitching thoughts? We done?
I wanted to ask Fallick a question here. Like, what if I told you Tyler Glasnow was going against a former teammate? Would that change all your opinions on everything?
Such a jerk.
I just asked you, did Luis Medina play for that?
You're such an asshole. Go cough up some phlegm or something, please.
We'll see in a few. I'm just sorry. I had to say it.
Who's a former teammate? I don't see any former Rays there.
There's not, DC. I just wanted to see if it changes opinion. That's all.
Any final thoughts at pitcher, DC? And we get through everyone.
For me.
All right, very good. Okay, guys. So like button would be great. We got a nice little crowd watching today. We appreciate that. Also, I'm gonna ban your ass, Beanair, just for being Beanair. Holden's gonna ban me if you say that name again. It won't be pretty. Don't. Which name? Which name are you talking about? Daniel Lynch? Is that what you're talking about? Daniel Lynch? 10 out of 10 play tonight, Beanair. Actually, I'm with Joey Work on the Reds tonight. Anyways, like button, and then Summer 33% off your first payment of a weekly or monthly subscription. I can't tell you guys enough. Please, if you have not tried it out, do it for yourself. Test the waters for 1 week, 33% off, and then, let's go. It's time for you to become a member. You get Sabres. What?
Sorry to cut you off. I know you love your promo reads, but I got to share something with the crowd.
I hate promo reads. So
Uncle T himself, Mr. Jake Rogers, just hit a 3-run jack. So I don't know. You might want to slide into those Uncle T cores and see who he's on. And it could be a sign for Uncle T's cores with Jake Rogers going in. That wasn't worth cutting off your promo, was it? My bad.
No, it was totally not worth it, but that's okay. I don't give a shit. Basically, now I don't have to speak as much. So promos Summer 33. That's the code. Just get in and do your thing. We'll switch it up to offense now. And just out of respect, I think we have to go to DC. Now, Kate Fallick, I'm going to leave it up to you, though. Again, yesterday, horrible mistake. Would you like to go first for offense, or do you want to defer to Draft Cheat Pete?
Oh, I'm absolutely deferring to the gentlemen that are here. I'm just an added piece today because Holden was disrespectful yesterday and decided to ban me.
You're not going to let it go. Eric has been Tourney, very active in the chat today. Is Eric a member? Is he a subscriber? Do we know if Eric is a subscriber?
I'm leaning no.
You don't think so, Eric? Summer 33 is the promo code. Okay. You need help because you want attention. We'll give you all the attention in the world in the Discord. So let's get into our first of a dozen games tonight. Toronto, Baltimore, Gunnar Henderson. Everybody's going to play Gunnar Henderson. Should they be playing Gunnar Henderson tonight? Absolutely. Right, DC?
Yeah. Hottest hitter in baseball, or certainly one of them, not named Acuna. I mean, he's figured it out. Talked a lot about him yesterday. Came through with a monster game. Gets a pretty good matchup here, frankly. I know Barrios has been better recently. I think this is a tough spot for Barrios. Even in his prime, he had some games where he just gets absolutely blown up. He's very hittable. I love this hitting weather in Baltimore. Barrios not as good against lefties. I think Baltimore has 7 of them in the lineup tonight. Of course, Gunnar Henderson leading off, but you can go beyond him. The Henderson, Rushman, Santander, O'Hearn, top 4 looks pretty damn strong to me. And then on the other side, obviously I like Bradish a little bit, but Blue Jays stack always in play, especially in this hitting environment. So you can go there. I'm not going to get there myself. We'll be on the Orioles side more than the Blue Jays.
I'm so afraid of playing Bradish. First of all, the weather. It's nice. It's warm. The wind's blowing out. And then you got Toronto just freaks me out, though. It's like if I play them, they're not. Maybe tonight's the night. You're still going Bradish, though. I'm not. There's no way anyone's talking you off of Bradish. So that's DC's breakdown for game one. What do you got, Mangone? Toronto at Baltimore.
Yeah, Toronto's fine. Nothing to prioritize. I do think Baltimore's in play as a mini stack. Obviously, you have Gunnar Henderson. Really good price. Adley Rushman, I think he's a pretty good option at the catcher position. I do think people are going to spend down at their catcher position. I think spending up for someone like Adley is definitely not a bad route to go. So yeah, I think Baltimore in play as minis. Toronto, they're fine as a 5-man. Like I'm not going to talk someone off the Toronto Blue Jays, but they're probably not going to make the cut for me today, it seems like.
Okay. Fallick, first game, Toronto, Baltimore. Any thoughts here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's a great point. Yeah.
You're so funny. I am so pissed at myself. It was good thoughts, though. Don't play Gunnar Henderson. Don't play Gunnar Henderson as a one-off is what I said, is really the only thought that I have. Don't have a ton of interest. I've been avoiding Baltimore since all these guys got hurt. I don't think I'm going to go there just because they're good weather and stuff like that. And the same thing with Toronto. Toronto's been real weak lately offensively, and they're losing pieces now too. Belt, I think Belt would have been a good piece in this lineup at like the 6th hole or whatever, and now they're having to force in and change up the lineup. But yeah, Gunnar Henderson is like a really bad one-off play. I think he's like a terrible one-off play at 40%. I think he's gonna be 30 to 40% owned in like single entry and 3 max type of tournaments. So I would definitely not play him as one-off.
What do you think of that, DC? It's an interesting point he brings up.
I kind of want the guy that's going to hit 2 dongs in my lineup, but I get it from an ownership perspective. Holden, the thing you screwed up there, it was very funny what you did to K. Fallick. But you've never actually told anyone they've made a great point before. I must have given it away, when you.
Is that what it was?
Like you got to like look off to the side like you normally do when I'm talking. That's way more convincing that nothing's going on behind the scenes.
JS, you leave the humor to the funny people. We'll move on to game number.
Gunnar Henderson, you want to have 5 at bats, no question, and like that's what you're banking on in this type of situation. And if you're going to get 5 at bats from Gunnar Henderson, you're going to need runs to be scored by everybody else. And I would not
necessarily if he hits 2 home runs or hits a home run to lead off the game. I mean,
all right,
I hear what you're saying, but yeah.
Okay, we'll move on then. We will keep a rolling here. Game number 2 will be Colorado, Boston. So it's all weather dependent. The Colorado offense has been decent, DC. I mean, they're scoring a little bit of runs on the road. They did it again. Boston gets to face Austin Gomber, a left-hander that they could probably just absolutely trash. We'll see if Garrett Whitlock can do what he's doing. A 4.74 whip in 32 innings doesn't really make me that excited. So can we go with some bats from the Rockies tonight? And what are your plays with the Red Sox?
Yeah, so we do need to pay attention to the weather here. I will be very surprised if they don't play this game. I think there's a chance it starts in delay for sure, but ultimately I do think this game will play. I'm not going to the Rockies. Rather, I'm not really interested in either pitcher. I get the Whitlock play. Obviously, Gomber, I don't think he's in play at all. The problem with the Red Sox, like a lot of their guys are pinch hit risks here. They've got Jarren Duran and Rafael Devers not in the starting lineup. Both those guys almost certainly coming in when Gomber exits the game. So, I mean, like Ref Snyder, Arroyo, Kike Hernandez, the 1, 5, and 6 hitters, all could be pinch hit for. I don't love the left on left for Verdugo, and that leaves Turner and Duvall there, who aren't, I don't think, the most exciting plays. So I don't have a problem with the Red Sox team total being as high as it is. But from DFS standpoint, I think the production just could come from a lot of different guys, including some players who aren't even in the starting lineup to begin the game. So that's my problem with stacking Red Sox tonight. I do think they're going to put up runs, against Gomber. From a DFS perspective, it's hard for me to get super excited about the stack.
Man, it's an interesting lineup too. So you mentioned it. No Devers, no Duran, no Yoshida. Then again, you got guys like Duvall going up against lefties. Turner,
but all three of those guys are probably coming in the game 4th or 5th inning when Gomber exits. So it's just tough from a DFS perspective.
Mangone, Colorado, and Boston. What do you want?
Yeah, Boston's definitely going to be a good stack today, but I like them more as a mini, I think. That's kind of some ways I've handled some of the chalks. It's just playing him as like a 2-man stack, right? Playing him as a 3-man. And Colorado, they're just going to be a fade for me. I don't need to play them here against Whitlock. There's a bunch of offenses on this slate, so we'll keep it moving. We can go to K. Fallick on it.
All right, Fallick, Boston, hosting Colorado, weather dependent. Where are you going? Huh? Pass?
Pass.
Love it. Yankees, Mets. Some of you are playing Verlander. Some of you aren't. Garrett Cole. Some of you are playing Garrett Cole. Some of you aren't. DC, is there a one-off in this game you want to play, or is that a pass?
This game is a complete pass for me. Both pitchers and hitters. I'll be hoping for a 4-3 type game.
Mangone, Subway Series.
Yeah, not really a game I'm looking to get any exposure to. Probably not even one-off options. It just doesn't feel like it's too big of a slate. So gonna pass on this game.
Okay. Fallick.
Pass as well.
All right. I love it. We're rolling now. All right. You got to talk about the Halos at the Rangers. So the Rangers are going up against the lefty. Hell, the Angels are too. And who was it last night? Was it Renfroe? I think it was Drury who showed up for us last night against the lefty. That was nice to see. So DC, the Angels can hit lefties. The Rangers can too. Who are the plays from this one? How about a game stack? What do you think about a little game stack from this one?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Andrew Heaney, Reed Detmers on the mound. Two guys who are very talented lefties and two guys who can get strikeouts. They're also both very blow-up prone. So, yeah, I'm not playing the pitchers here. I'm definitely interested in the offenses. I do have Rangers as my number one stack. Just damage night after night with these guys. Detmers has been a little bit of a rough ride for him lately. So I think the Rangers can do a lot of damage. They've got Ezekiel Duran up into the 3-hole. Can play him at outfield or shortstop. I'm sure he'll be a popular play, but a good one, I think. And the bottom of the lineup looks good too. Both catchers, Jonah Heim, Mitch Garver, are strong plays. Leota Tavares down at the bottom. Josh Jung and Garcia, of course. So, yeah, the Rangers look really good to me. They're my preferred side. But I don't mind the Angels. Taylor Ward's been heating up. Ohtani is red hot right now, just absolutely crushing the ball. You can obviously play him even left versus left. Trout, Rendon, Drury, Renfroe. Yeah, I think both these offenses look pretty good to me.
Yeah, Wallach always seems to be just a nice little play against lefties too. I never mind Wallach.
Yeah, he's been on fire as well. Yep.
Yeah. Mangone, Texas, Angels. I mean, if you like these guys, is there any way to get a little bit different too?
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with Texas, right? Pretty much on any slate, they could beat anyone out. They've been so good this year. Also, if you guys don't hit the like, I don't know where they're at, but I gave out Duran from Texas as one of my plays of the day the other day, and he got 18 DK points, and that was in the Discord chat.
But what have you done for them today? That's the question.
That's what I did for them lately. Okay, so they got to find out later what I'm going to do for them if they hit that like. So, I do think the Angels are an interesting offense on FanDuel specifically. Definitely playing a little FanDuel today. And Andrew Heaney, listen, I think he's a pitcher that you can argue if he got 20 plus DK points, you wouldn't be surprised. And if he was in the negatives tonight, I would not be surprised. So I don't think I'd ignore the Angels offense on FanDuel specifically. They're going to be a team that I have some exposure to no doubt.
K. Fallick, Texas hosting the Angels. What do we got?
Yeah, I love the Rangers tonight. And the reason why I really like them is because the big thing about the Rangers in a stack is that their best players are second, third, and shortstop. And everything else kind of fits in and you can fit in around it. But their three best players, in my opinion, are second, third, and shortstop, which are usually a weak spot on other lineups that you're interested in. Outfield is usually your power spot. First base is your power spot. So you get the opportunity to really blend it together well if you're playing that route. Definitely have interest in a few pieces for the Angels. Andrew Heaney is a blow up chance every single game. and definitely have interest. I think Hunter Renfroe is probably the play I'd have most interest in on a price play. So yeah.
Okay. It's a nice breakdown. I like it. We'll move on. No, we won't move on because Mangone said it. You got to hit the like button, right? You got to hit the like button, Mangone. It's unacceptable if you don't. It's as simple as that. And like I told you last night, you probably didn't hit the like button last night. You didn't have a good night. I can almost guarantee it's going to happen to you again tonight. I'm using fear as a way for you to hit the like button. It doesn't take you a lot of time to do it. Summer 33% off. First payment of your weekly or monthly subscription, baseball in full swing. Look at the panel we got today. Look at I'm looking at Tony Big T's player pool right now. We got a whole bunch of dudes throwing cores up today. AP's out there. Phallic, maybe you can give us a little bit of a core before the end of the show. How many likes, Mangone, do we need? I don't even look at the number of likes right now. How many likes we need to get a Phallic core? 150?
Yeah, get a Phallic core?
I want a Phallic core.
We got to make it 250 for
250 for a Phallic core. All right.
I'm going to be leaving in a few minutes, unfortunately, but
no, never mind.
I will give you some stacks, but no, you're not getting a Phallic core. That's a special thing.
And it's a special thing you can find on Mangone single entry 3 max, right, Phallic?
Well, unfortunately, I will be double close. I will be double posting it today because JT Hayes is out of commission today, so I've been requested to fill in his spot. So I'll make sure to double post it though, so it's in 2 spots.
What's wrong with JT Hayes? Would you like to tell us?
JT, he's traveling. He's out and about in the sky. So yeah,
he's traveling.
He just kind of asked, "Hey, I'm a little busy during this trip, so just need some relief."
By the way, can we just go back to the Angels real quick? Anthony Rendon is ass. Like I can't even play him. I want to stack the Angels. I got to leave their cleanup hitter off because he's been so bad. Absolutely ridiculous. Butthole Jenkins, aka Mr. Big T Butt Sniffer. I hit the like button last night and played Max Scherzer. It doesn't work the opposite way. It only works if you don't hit the like button, butthole. By the way, I love you. It's great to see you. Let's move on. Pittsburgh and the Cubs. We didn't have much on this game last night. We thought it might get rained out. They played anyways. DC, Smiley. We don't really anything from this game. Anything.
I actually like both offenses quite a bit here. Smiley's been good this year. I don't really think it's going to continue. And I like the Pirates against left-handed pitchers. Andrew McCutchen, Rodolfo Castro, 2 guys that really still crush lefties. Jack Sawinski has been red hot, double dong yesterday. Don't love the left versus left, but they'll get a righty in there, mid-game. Brian Hayes has been much better over the last couple of weeks, kind of like him. Brian Reynolds. So, yeah, I think the Pirates could do damage. And then even better than the Pirates, I like the Cubs side a lot. Osvaldo Bido will make his MLB debut, kind of a Pittsburgh Pirates, essentially non-prospect. I think he's 27 years old.
Looks terrible. Everything I saw looks terrible.
A little bit in the minor leagues this year. Definitely worse against lefties than he is righties. And also you can run on him. Base stealers 9 for 9 in AAA this year against Mr. Osvaldo. So that Cubs lineup looks pretty tasty. And, I don't play the Cubs very often. They've been cold, but there's a reason they've got a team total nearing 5, even though it's not, the kind of the prime hitting Wrigley conditions. I think they could do some serious damage. Cubs got some speed, some power. I'm expecting them to put up a number here against the Pirates.
You rolling with a little Tauchman tonight?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the pinch hit risk for him, but I still like him some in that one hole. Herner, Suzuki, Happ, Swanson, Morel at 2 through 6 is my preference for the Cubs.
Okay. Mangone, let's get to you here. Pittsburgh and the Cubs. Game that I overlooked. I think a lot of people in DFS are going to overlook it. DC didn't. Are you overlooking it?
I will not be overlooking the Cubs. I really like them today. They'll definitely be one of my 5-man stacks for sure in my cores today. It's just they're in such a good spot here. This Beto guy's terrible. And I know the Tauchman pinch hit risk is worrisome, but when he hits a leadoff bomb, we don't really care if he gets pinch hit for it. It still feels good. So I like Tauchman, Herner, Suzuki. I mean, up and down this lineup, you can argue for pretty much almost any option. So like the Cubs, no interest really in the Pirates here. Just don't think I need to go there. But Cubs are definitely going to be a stack that I'm prioritizing today.
What are you thinking, Phallic? You like little Cubbies?
Oh yeah, I'm in the same
yeah.
boat here. Pittsburgh's a middling relief team, or the relievers are like middle to a little bit below middle. Cubs are the same way. So I definitely have interest in the Cubs. The one thing I will say is I think Matt Mervis is a fine play at 2.5K as well to possibly bring these guys in. I have no issue with him to be added into the equation. But yeah, I'm very interested in this Cubs squad today.
Who are your two favorite Cubs bats?
If price doesn't matter, it's going to be Suzuki and Happ.
Yeah.
Okay. If I think Mervis is a perfectly fine play though at 2.5K.
All right, guys, we'll move on to Kansas City and hosting Cincinnati. You talked about Uncle T, DC. He likes some bats from this game. Not going to tell you who it is. You got to be a subscriber. Summer 33, blah, blah, blah. But Cincinnati, Kansas City, Lively and Lynch. Some of you guys like the pitchers here. Some of you don't. What do you think, DC?
Yeah, I think a lot of differing opinions on this game. I've obviously talked about Lynch. I'm going to have some exposure to him in my lineups. I know our guy Gary is on Lively. I get it against this Kansas City lineup. I personally like the Royals offense a little bit. I don't think Lively's any good despite some pretty decent results. So me and Gary on opposite sides there. And listen, like I said, I like Lynch. I don't think the Reds are a bad stack whatsoever with the power, the speed that they have. Obviously with the addition of Cruz, who's just been incredible. Huge upside from slate to slate. McLean, India, Steer, Stevenson, kind of that middle of that lineup, I think could absolutely do damage here. I'm not going to it myself, but will I be surprised if Lynch turns back into a pumpkin? Absolutely not. So, yeah, I'm on the Lynch side of it, but, I could see it going either way, honestly. It's just kind of a price play and it's an upside play with Daniel Lynch is really what it is. I think he can get strikeouts, which is kind of what we're after especially for those cheap pitchers. So, yeah, that's my breakdown of that game.
Daniel Lynch. All right, Mangone, Cincinnati, Kansas City. Yay or nay? Some bats from this game.
Yeah, I really like the Kansas City side. I'm definitely opposite of Gary today. Sorry, Gary, but I have the under on 4.5 strikeouts for Mr. Lively today. So you can get plus money on that on the DK Sportsbook. Got that on the bet side. So that'll be one of the props that I'm on today. I think this Kansas City offense I think it's a good spot for them to finally bounce back, right? They've kind of struggled, but they were on the road a bunch, right? They were outside of AP's place, like Kauffman Field, or as he likes to call it, Coors Field.
Coors with a K.
Yeah, Coors with a K. So, I do think this is a spot where Kansas City could get right and get back. So I like this spot for the Kansas City Royals. I mean, Cincinnati's fine. I don't need to do it. There's other spots I'd prefer. And out of respect for Fallick, I'm thinking of adding Lynch onto some of my content here and get a little exposure on some of my teams. DC, I respect you too, but I had to at least say it to Fallick because he knows the entire 8K and below range really well.
Fallick, I don't know how much time we got left with you, but can you break this game down, please, with Kansas City, Cincinnati? Any bats?
No bats for me.
Oh, bummer. Washington, Houston's the next one. We got a pitching matchup of Framber against Josiah Gray. Hey, the Nationals, DC, you know this. There's a couple guys in that lineup that can hit lefties. And again, this is not a normal lefty. This is Framber Valdez. Any Nats or Astros this evening?
I can't remember the last time I played a hitter against Framber Valdez. Tonight will not be the night I start. So no thanks. I think the Astros are fun here. Josiah Gray, yeah, he's kind of been coming back to earth the last month or so. Astros lineup not nearly as scary, of course, without Yordan Alvarez in there, but still scary enough, I think, against Josiah Gray. Kyle Tucker, my favorite, but I don't hate the top of the Astros lineup. You're not in my top 4 or 5 stacks or anything, but I think a good contrarian option. I think Josiah Gray is still a little bit overrated as a pitcher.
Mangone, Washington, Houston. You want to pick a bat or two from this game?
Yeah, I like Houston a little bit. I don't think they're bad. You could play them as minis or I think as 5-man stacks. Yes, they are losing Yordan Alvarez, right? That's frustrating. But they still have bats in there that are pretty solid. Kyle Tucker, I think it's a really good spot for him. Dubon at the top, don't mind him. Altuve, second base is not always a fun position to roster. Altuve fits really well there. So he's someone that I would definitely be prioritizing if I was playing Houston. And they got some value with the catcher, right? I mean, you can kind of make your choice. Do you want Maldonado? Do you want Diaz? So overall, I'm interested in Houston here. I think they're a stack to consider. Josiah Gray, kind of like Andrew Heaney. I'm not surprised that Josiah Gray was out there for 20, and I'm not surprised if he puts up a negative. We know what can happen with him. When he gets hit hard, he gets hit hard. And then when the strikeouts are falling, they're falling. But we're trying to play to get on the top of the leaderboard in first place.
All right, Fallick.
I'm not interested in this game personally. No.
Zero interest tonight. Isn't that a shame? How much time do we have you for, Fallick?
I'm going to head out in like 3 minutes, so I can give some quick thoughts if you want.
How about this? I want to get some. How about you do this last game? Tampa Bay, Oakland. Again, 27,000 plus on a reverse protest last night. 18 piles of dog shit that landed where they weren't supposed to. The rest of the dogs went in the dog area, DC. Made a very important call today. They confirmed this. Fallick, Tampa Bay bats tonight. Looking good? Why are you shaking your head?
The story is just going to continue getting expanded. It's very impressive that you're able to make this up. Anyways, Tampa Bay,
this is not a joke.
Tampa Bay, you have to have interest in because Oakland's bullpen is just really weak. Medina or whatever his name is not the best pitcher. I think you can definitely play them. The one thing I do want to say before I head out, I was really interested in the Dodgers, and then they threw out this lineup, and it's really hard to now play the Dodgers, unfortunately. Clevenger's no bueno, and the bullpen's no bueno, and they throw out whatever this is, which is also no bueno.
Who else are we missing besides Muncy right now?
Will Smith.
Okay. The good news is that Mike Trout's returned for the Angels, so at least hopefully that cold.
By the way, let me throw out one more thing before I head out. Is we talked about the Cubs a little bit, but the one thing about the Cubs that I really like on FanDuel specifically, they're cheap, number one overall. The bigger thing though is that Mr. Morel is third base eligible on FanDuel, which is very nice when you get to see him at third base eligibility tonight.
Yeah, we were going to get to the FanDuel, so you got another second. Anything else FanDuel wise before you go? Who's your favorite pitcher over there?
I'm filling out bats right now. Let me see real quick. Let me go to somebody else, and I'll give you a picture before
DC, I leave. We are on what is it? Tampa Bay, Oakland.
Yeah, like I said, I do like Glasnow here. Mm-hmm. Not on A's hitters outside of Estuary or Rees. You can really run on Glasnow, not quite to the extent of Mr. Syndergaard, but I think Ruiz, good chance he steals second and third, frankly, if he gets a chance against Glasnow. So I think he's a fun tournament play. And then, I like the Rays. Medina's been bad. Bullpen still sucks despite their recent run of pretty good pitching. It'll come back to bite them soon for the A's. So, I think the Rays are a very good way to go tonight.
Mangone, what do you think of Rayleigh tonight? Is he popping?
I don't know. I just don't see myself getting Tampa Bay. I don't typically play teams in the Oakland Park. It's just not something that I typically do. So I will not be partying with the dogs tonight, Holden. I will be fading this game and moving on.
Oh, buddy, that's sad. All right, Fallick's in deep thought. I mean, look at this.
I'm just looking at the pictures. It's probably gonna be Verlander, to be honest.
Verlander on FanDuel.
Yeah, is where I'll be landing. And man, it's hard to play the Dodgers on FanDuel, to say the least. Freddie Freeman 4,500, Mookie 42. They're going to be a tough stack. Honestly, as is Texas with Marcus Semien at 4K, Corey Seager at 44. I think you're just kind of capping your opportunity with these guys for these two teams.
Thanks, Fallick.
I wish you all the best of luck tonight. Always a pleasure being here. Get to Mangone. I hope you get some voice rest over the next 24 hours. And good luck to everybody at the U.S. Open Day. Get in and read some great content on U.S. Open. We have great content over at RPS on that as well.
Summer 33. Summer 33. Thanks, Fallick.
See ya.
Later, dude. All right, let's do the 3-shot overlay promo. We're on to Miami, Seattle, all right, boys? And Perez, we're not going there. Castillo, but is this a pass, DC, or is there a one-off?
I don't see much to like hitting here. Perez, Castillo, both really good pitchers. Not going to bats here. No.
Mangone?
Nope, hard pass.
All right, good. Cleveland, San Diego, the aforementioned. Aaron Savali, and we got Waka too. So two guys going head to head tonight. Do we want to pick any bats here, DC? What about the Sanchino? He's going against a right-hander. I don't think so.
He's been crazy good.
I know.
Sanchez has. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But he's been awesome. So, yeah, I think you can play Sanchez. I'm not a believer in Savali whatsoever. Usually in this park, if I go to it, I kind of like to get the full stack just because home runs are sometimes hard to come by. But, yeah, Savali could get blown up. I talked about not being a huge believer in Waka, but I still think he'll be good enough to keep this Cleveland team at bay for the most part. So, yeah, this game, mostly a pass for me outside of maybe a San Diego stack or two.
Mangone, it's a later night game, Cleveland, San Diego. Any one-offs here?
No, I mean, I'm not a big Aaron Savali guy. If you have the salary, like, Falk was complaining about, I don't have the salary to spend up and I'm spending down a pitcher. Listen, if you're spending down a pitcher, I don't think anyone is going to complain about Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto, right? So if you wanted a contrarian expensive stack against Savali, I could understand it, but not really that interested.
Okay. Philly, Arizona. So we talked about this Arizona lineup a bit light tonight. No Corbin Carroll, no Ketel Marte. Maybe there's some value we can find on the Philadelphia side. Is there any they're facing Merrill Kelly, so I'm not so sure. DC, is this another pass or you got something here?
Not a ton here, to be honest. I don't mind going back to Philly after their big night. Kelly has been good. He's typically good at home. I still don't think he's a guy you have to completely avoid. So I do still like the Phillies as a contrarian stack. Part of the reason I liked him yesterday, that Arizona bullpen is worn out and remains so, obviously, after yesterday. So, yeah, I think the big five Phillies, 1 through 5, they're enticing every night because they've got power, they've got speed, they all stay in the lineup outside of being up 12 runs in the ninth inning. I think Phillies are a good contrarian stack. And I'm not going to the Diamondbacks, but I personally don't like Ranger Suarez either. Just kind of avoiding that situation. Suarez, pretty good ground ball guy, doesn't give up a ton of home runs, and don't love Arizona's lineup tonight.
Mangone, here we go. Arizona, Philadelphia, and then we got our last game after that. Any plays here from the game in Phoenix?
Yeah, delay in the Mets and Yankees game, so I don't know if that affects. I mean, they're two vets, right? DC, I think they should be fine.
I think that game's going to play just fine. I think it's going to be a really brief delay in New York. I am more worried definitely about the Red Sox game, who I think they haven't announced it yet, but I think they are, I would say, almost certain to start and delay. It's just going to be a matter of if they wait long enough. The rain will stop. Not that late, but you never know. I still think it'll play, but it'll be, probably a decent delay in Boston.
All right, well, yeah, that's definitely something to watch because they're a pretty chalky offense for sure today. Phillies and Diamondbacks, I don't see myself getting there today. Roof will be closed. It was closed yesterday, I'm pretty sure too, but I just don't think it's a game I'm getting to. There's a lot of offenses on the slate.
Subscribers, if you got any questions, throw them in now and we can get to them. We got one more game with the White Sox at the Dodgers. DFS Dom wants to know Ohtani, Glasnow, or Trout Castillo. Trouty's back in the lineup tonight. We'll see if he just comes back red hot. What do you think here? DC, Ohtani, Glasnow, or Trout Castillo?
Ohtani, Glasnow start.
Okay.
Trout's been really cold.
Yep. Well, he's coming back after a little break. We'll see if it helps him or not. Kershaw, we're not targeting Kershaw tonight, are we, DC, with the White Sox? On the other side, the Dodgers are facing Mike Clevenger, who's been fine. And what is it now? 3 starts, maybe? He's been fine. The Dodgers offense always has a ceiling, but any need to go there tonight?
Yeah, kind of with Falk. I expected to like them more than I ended up liking them. Part of the reason, Clevenger, you really want lefties against him. So obviously Freddie Freeman's an awesome play, but the other lefties in the Los Angeles Dodgers lineup probably going to get pinch hit for. Peralta, Hayward, maybe Outman too. It's hard for me to play those guys. I think Freddie Freeman, a pretty elite one-off though.
Okay. Mangone, White Sox, Dodgers.
Yeah, Dodgers, I do think they're still in play. I know Falk didn't like them that much. I mean, you could still get away with it, right? Just make sure if you play the Dodgers, prioritize the big boys, right? Like make sure you're getting Freddie Freeman and Mookie. I know they're pretty pricey, but I'd make sure to get him in there. I mean, there's not that many. So if I play them, I want to have them, right? I want to have at least 2 of Mookie, Freeman, and JD, and you probably want 3. There's enough value amongst those other guys, right? The most expensive option is Outman at 3.6, Taylor then at 3K. You'll have 2 value pieces that you can plug in. So I would probably prioritize Betts, Freeman, and JD Martinez if you're playing a Dodgers stack.
All right, so here's my last time. I'm going to plug the site. Summer 33% off your first payment of a weekly or monthly plan. Right now, we also got a lot going on. Best Ball. If you play NFL Best Ball, Megan JSU just came out with their show today. We got a ton of Best Ball content up. As I've been telling you all week long, I guess it's only 2 days. MMA team continues to crush. Tons of shippers. We had shippers. We had winners. We had tons of screenshots of our MMA product. Still top tier over here. The Golf product as good as it gets. And I mean, no more NBA, no more NHL. Those things are done. We do soccer. We do tennis. USFL still going on? Because if it is going on still, I'm sure we'll have some content for that. Yeah, it is. Didn't Bruce just ship something too? So yeah, it's absolutely going on. Summer 33 is the promo code. We are going to get our plays of the day, and then we're going to get out of here. Last chance for the members in the live show chat. Hit me up. I'll ask you a question if you got one. If not, we'll get out of here. DC, let's go. Who is the mom's basement play of the day?
Ooh, I kind of wanted to stick with my man Gunnar Henderson coming off yesterday, but can't do it. Too chalky, and I don't want to get an angry message from Kevin about what a bad one-off play is. So I'll go somewhere else, and I will go to Mr. Andrew McCutchen leading off for the Pirates against Drew Smiley.
Ooh, okay. All right, let's talk some ping pong with Mangone. What is Mangone's ping pong play of the day?
All right, well, I'll see your Andrew McCutchen, and I'll raise you an Ian Happ in the same game.
There we go. He was on the short list. I like it.
Yeah, I think he's going to bang one out. So I think it's a big day for Ian Happ against Mr. Osvaldo Beto. I mean, this guy's not good.
I am fresh out of edibles, but I will tell you, been pretty good with my plays lately. Brandon Drury tonight. He's got a lefty. It's going to be late. Brandon Drury, play of the day. Let's do it. Let me see if I got any questions. Nope. Hit the like button on the way out. Thank you so much, everybody, for checking out. Check out the Best Ball Show. Check out all the golf content that we got. Didn't you do a golf show, or you got that coming up later on tonight, Mangone?
That is true. My voice will not be rested. We will be on the golf show in 45 minutes, getting the job done. So it should be fun. Hanging with Snyder, hanging with Kurt, and of course, one of our favorite hosts, Uncle Dunkel.
Uncle T, yes. DC, Mangone, wonderful to see you. Yeah, what?
I said not Uncle T, Uncle Dunkel.
Uncle Dunkel?
Uncle T ditched us for the premium show. He went from the minors to the big leagues. I still haven't gotten the call up, but that's okay. I'll just ship a Millie this week, and when they try to call me up, I'll say no. I'm staying with the bet show. All
right. For Mangone and DC, I'm Holden. Thanks so much for checking us out. Hit the like button on the way out. Good mojo here. Run Pure Sports. Keep running pure.